Derbyshire Falcons deservedly made it through to the quarter-finals of the Royal London One Day Cup after they defeated the already qualified Gloucestershire by 53 runs at the 3A County Ground. The home side now heading to Nottinghamshire on Tuesday, while Gloucestershire go to Kent next Friday. Derbyshire needed a win and a Leicestershire defeat to stay on the road to Lord's. All they could do, of course, was to concentrate on their own affairs, letting the event at Old Trafford unfold. After Wes Durston and Billy Godalming had opened up with a stand of 25 after being put in, the latter was out in the fifth over, nicking off to Craig Miles. 45 runs were taken off the 10 overs of power play, with Godalming and Marcus North laying a solid platform for their side, which began this competition with 2 points fewer than the rest, after having those deducted for a poor pitch in the 40-over tournament last summer. This pair carried the score to 73 in the 15th over. North was out for 20, setting off for a suicidal single to be run out by Ian Cobain after realising his mistake mid-pitch, a rather needless end to a promising knock. It was the next partnership between Godalming and his captain Wayne Madsen, who began this competition with back-to-back hundreds, which gave Derbyshire a real chance. Godalming reached a 50 off 70 balls before he struck the first 6 of the match in the 30th over, by the end of which his side had made a total of 145 for 2, that over itself costing Chris Dent 18 runs. Madsen knew the importance of a good knock from him, and having batted with care and attention to start with, he began to find the boundaries. This partnership grew into something rather threatening. In 20 overs together, this pair brought up their 100-run stand. Madsen made his half-century off 61 balls and celebrated by driving this delivery from David Payne over the rope for a maximum. Payne responded immediately as Madsen was well taken behind by Gareth Roderick after making 57 of a partnership of 116 in 22 overs. Alex Hughes was then out second ball for a duck, Will Gidman finding the edge of his bat to leave the Falcons on 190 for 4 in over number 38. Godalming's 96 was his best ever one-day score, but he was denied a maiden 100 when he was unluckily taken down the leg side off Will Gidman at 209 for 5. Not that even Gloucestershire seemed too convinced. Godalming certainly wasn't. Gareth Cross was then out for a single, Miles picking up his second wicket as the batsman was held at long on by Cobain. So it was left to Tony Palladino to add the necessary acceleration at the end of the innings. He clipped Will Gidman for a 6 over square leg and backed that up with another maximum off Payne as he made 28 off 14 balls to take his side to a final total of 270 for 7 from their 50 overs, 48 coming off the final 5. The last man to fall was Scott Elston in the final over as he was bowled by Payne for 37, a very handy knock which had helped set Gloucestershire a competitive chase. And that chase could not have started much worse as Mark Footitt banged one in to smack Michael Klinger on the left forearm. He had to retire hurt and it was later confirmed that his arm was indeed broken, surely bringing an end to the captain's season. Klinger was off in the third over and his opening partner Hamish Marshall was LBW to Ben Cotton in the next for a 10-ball duck. Dent got off the mark with this uppercut 6 off Footitt, a quick who has had the pace to cause a number of batsmen difficulties in this competition. Dent then took 4 fours off a Cotton over as the left-hander scored nearly all of the runs of a second wicket partnership of 40 in 5 overs with Roderick. Dent was quickly off and running for a team which was trying to earn a home tie in next week's quarter-finals with a win here. Gloucestershire were on 46 for 2 when Roderick on 4 edged Footitt to Durston in the slips in the 9th over. The total read 56 for 2 after 10 and Dent reached his fine 50 from only 37 balls with his second 6 to go with his 8 other 4s. He was becoming a big threat to the home side, who badly needed him out. Instead, Footitt removed Cobain, who was caught behind with a total now on 82 for 3 in over number 15. It would be fair to say that the bowler was pretty happy with that wicket. By now, Derbyshire would have heard that Leicestershire had indeed gone down at Lancashire, and so a win here would guarantee a first one-day quarter-final since 2005. But for 8 overs, they were held up by Dent and Alex Gidman, who added 36 runs for the 4th wicket. This was the big moment for the home team. David Wainwright producing a Chinaman, which turned sharply to surprise and bowl Dent for a 70 which had been made of 58 deliveries. Will Gidman then got a leading edge off Hughes to offer Elston the easiest of catches. And when Benny Howell was held in the deep by Durston off Wainwright for 5, it looked as if Derbyshire were home and hosed. They'd reduced the Gloucesters to 136 for 6, effectively 7 with Klinger unable to bat again, just past the halfway stage of the reply, but Jack Taylor hadn't given up the ghost just yet. Wainwright struck again to trap Alex Gidman in front on the reverse for 47, and that left the visitors 98 to get off the final 15 overs with just a couple of wickets to play with. Taylor may only be diminutive in stature, but his shots really pack a punch. He smashed 3 more maximums in the space of 8 deliveries to give the Falcons a little scare towards the end. With shots like these, Taylor raced to a half-century, his first in the List A game off only 33 deliveries. Surely Derbyshire were not going to be denied right at the end of this group stage. Leicestershire still had some hope as they left Manchester. That disappeared though when Taylor on 53 was held by Hughes off Palladino, before the same man bowled Miles as Gloucestershire were all out in the 40th over for 218. They had time on their side, but alas for them, no more batsmen left to make the most of them. So Derbyshire took the game by 53 runs for their 4th win, which actually gave them the same record as their opponents here, and with a better net run rate. That deduction of 2 points meant that Derbyshire ended in 4th place to head down Brian Clough Way to meet Notts on Tuesday, while Gloucestershire have a much longer trip to Canterbury 3 days later.